What equipment do you need to install on your big truck tires to keep going in moderately snowy conditions? Hello, I'm Vicki Simons with TruckDriversMoneySavingTips.com. Last night on our Motivated Monday broadcast, I was talking about being prepared for going out in certain areas of the country and making sure that you have snow chains or other traction devices. I was reading from the Colorado and the California DOT pages, their websites, about using snow chains and that sort of thing on one section of I-70 through Colorado. The snow chain law is in effect starting on September 1, which is 2 days from now. So I want to talk about tonight not just the law, snow chain laws, and being prepared for those snowy conditions, but I want to talk about the actual devices that are used so that you will be prepared. Okay, so among the things that professional truck drivers use most often to help them get traction in snowy conditions are either snow chains or snow cables. Okay, there are other devices out there that some vehicles use, like an auto sock or a like Go Claws or Snow Claws, but I have not found yet, okay, any reference to using those types of devices, the latter two, on commercial motor vehicles. Okay, usually you're talking about snow chains or snow cables. Now, I'm looking at a paragraph or two on our tire chains, our snow chains page, and it says California DOT states furthermore regarding cables, okay, being snow cables, they are not as effective as link-type chain under severe conditions at higher elevations and steep grades for big rigs, and may not be permitted depending on local conditions as determined by Caltrans. Caltrans is the California Department of Transportation. Whenever chain controls are posted over Donner Pass on Interstate 80, heavy trucks are usually required to have link-type chain on at least the main drive axle. So, you'll want to know, okay, first of all, what is legal to use wherever it is that you're going to be traveling. Okay, so are you going to be using chains, cables, auto socks, Go Claws, Snow Claws, or automatic tire chains or automatic snow chains? Now, that being said, I was at one of the mats. I think it was the Mid-America Trucking Show 2014, and I took a little video of an automatic tire chain device. Okay, and I actually made a YouTube video out of this. You could go up on our website or on the YouTube channel and look at that. And basically what it is a device that when it is activated via a switch in the cab, okay, this little motorized job comes down, and there's a part that runs alongside the trailer or the tires. Okay, it rests against the tires. It has that little bit of traction, and it flings out a segment of chain every so often. Okay, and there were two kinds of chains that I saw at another vendor's device. One had one length of chain, okay, every so often, and the other had 3 lengths of chain. And obviously, in my opinion, the more chains that you have, the better ability that your truck will have to gain traction, okay, maintain traction. Now, that being said, someone made a comment on our video that that would not work at low speeds. And I could certainly understand that, okay? If the chain doesn't have enough force to be flung out in front of the tire to be able to get traction, it's not going to work. So you'll need to bear in mind what, like I said, is legal in your area and what sorts of pros and cons you will need to have with respect to that. Also, bear in mind that some of these tire chains have square edges versus smooth edges. Okay, and that was one thing that I did not realize there was a difference on. So you'll need to know how to activate or install them. Now, I gave the very real experience that Mike and I had. The only time that we ever had to chain up a truck, and we swore we'd never do it again, okay, was as we were going up I-70 from the west to the east towards Denver. And we had a really shocking experience there, but the Lord protected us, and Anyway, make sure that if you're installing chains, okay, that you stop periodically to make sure that your chains are tightened up, okay? If there's some sort of a cam that you need to twist in order to provide some tightening, don't go too far without checking that. And obviously when you run out of the snowy area, take those chains back off. Make sure that your chains are in good condition. When Mike and I were driving for Swift, those chains stayed installed on the side of the truck, the frame there, year-round, okay, whether we needed them or not. And the fact was that no one ever bothered to tell us how to install those chains. I did not know. I was, I'm from the southeastern part of the United States. Snow chains, if it's snowing, I don't want to drive for the most part. So, and that raises another issue. I said moderately snowy conditions, okay? If there's a blizzard or whiteout conditions, obviously you're not going to want to drive in that kind of a situation, okay? There was even a situation in North Carolina when Mike was driving for a big southeastern trucking company, and nobody was on the road. We talked about that on one of our pages. I don't remember which one just now, but the fact of the matter is, there was nobody on the road because it had snowed so much, and the 511 alert that was out was basically saying don't go out. Okay, and we saw plenty of vehicles that had been because they couldn't see or there was no traction. Okay, basically they wound up in the ditch. I lost count, a certain number of those that I counted. So one of the trucking companies for whom we used to drive, it may have been U.S. Express, and they may have changed their policy since then, but their opinion was if it is snowing so hard that you need to install chains in order to keep going, park the truck. Okay, don't go. Okay, you do not need to do that. Also, the situation with U.S. Express was that they had snow chain banks. Okay, so you picked up snow chains at one place and then you dropped them off at the other snowbank location in a different area. Now, I specifically recall that there was a load we were going to be traveling, a load that we were going to be taking, traveling up along I-90 going through Montana into Idaho. And there's a pass up there, if memory serves me correctly, it's called Lookout Pass. It's kind of like, look out, y'all. If you lose it on that hill, you're going to be in trouble. But anyway, I was heading from the east to the west, and so I'm going up this mountain grade, okay, and we had just had the drive tires replaced on the tractor. It's a good thing, too, because even if I had wanted to put chains on the truck, we didn't have them on the truck because there was no place for us to pick them up. There was no snow chain bank there for us on the one side to take them across that particular route. So, that being said, okay, I specifically recall, and it's in the wee hours of the morning, and I'm driving, and these snowflakes they're huge. Mike and I coined a phrase called BF cubed. BF to the third power, meaning big, fat, fluffy flakes, okay? In my opinion, most of the time, the snow in the west is different from the snow in the east. The snow in the east tends to be heavier and got more moisture to it somehow. It falls generally a little faster, but the snow in the west, in my opinion, it's bigger and it floats a little more delicately through the air, but it piles up so fast because they're big flakes, okay? So I'm driving, it's dark outside, and there's lots of snow, and I'm going up this grade, okay? And I told you in the broadcast last night that some of these places have got these markers along the side of the road where there's reflective tape to show you how deep the snow is and to make sure you're staying, in your lane. And so obviously, it's at least one of the reflective markers is, no longer visible, so there's a lot of snow on the road. And I hear this creaking of the Velcro on the sleeper berth curtains opening behind me. Okay, I'm driving and Mike's getting up, and he notices what's going on around me. Okay, I'm going up this grade, and he says, whatever you do, don't stop. And I said, I don't plan to. Or something to that effect. I have every even though we passed someone who was pulled off on the side of the road who was chaining up, it's kind of like, no, I didn't want to stop. And I was maintaining good traction. The Lord protected us. as we were going up there. But that was an eye-opening experience, because even if I had wanted to chain up the truck, I didn't have the chains on the truck or in the truck to be able to put on the rig. So anyway, that being said, you'll also want to make sure that your tires are in good repair. And I think I mentioned last night that one of the DOT restrictions is that you have at least 6/32 of an inch of tread on your drive tires. Okay, so make sure that your tires are in good repair, make sure that your snow chains are in good repair, and make sure that you know how to install them. And we have on our snow chains page several different videos about how to install snow chains. And so be prepared. Okay, use the technology that is at your disposal and that your trucking company permits and that the DOT requires wherever it is that you're going. Okay, also be sure that, and this is a little aside off of the snow chains, but make sure that your defroster on your windshield is working appropriately. Okay, I had a situation when we were crossing Nebraska one time, and the defroster wasn't working as well as I wanted to, and I literally had to get out of the truck, okay, and take the kingpin puller, okay, and lift up underneath the driver's side windshield wiper and bang it down a few times in order to get that snow loosened up, because it was awful. Okay, there was so much snow falling so quickly that the wipers and the defroster couldn't keep up. So when you're fixing to do this this winter driving, okay, pay attention to your different equipment and just prepare. Okay, I'm not seeing any comments, questions, or feedback right now, so please just let me wrap up by saying prepare so that you don't wind up in a problem. Don't get yourself into a ditch. Okay, make sure that you park when you need to. Make sure your equipment is good, and save as much money as you can. Okay, if the weather is so bad that you have to park, just park. All right. Until next time, my husband Mike and I wish you safe travels and lots of money saving opportunities on the road. Have a great night, drivers. Thanks.